It is 12 a.m. on the first day of the Great Indian Festival sale. Millions of people hit buy now button at the same second. But site did not crash, payment did not fail, your order confirmed within milliseconds. How? It is not about servers, it's about the well-designed architecture. Right now there are two types of people in the Indian IT. Those who just deploy to the cloud and then those who are architect to the cloud. Today we will understand the blueprint, because if you really want to have a title of solution architect and the salary comes with it, you need to understand the basics of the Azure architecture, and for that matter any cloud architecture you want to. But yes, coming with my 12 years of experience in the Azure, I would really like to talk about this topic today. Let's get started. Welcome to AI Catalyst. Here we simplify complex AI topics into clear and easy English for the Indian audience. Cloud architecture is the blueprint of how your digital house is built. It's an arrangement of the different layers like compute, storage, networking, security, which ensure your application is always up and running, fast, secure, and cheap to run. So you can think of it like, booking a service apartment in Mumbai, where you do not need to worry about the plumbing, electricity, or the security guards. You just use the space. Same way, Azure is your service provider, and architecture is the arrangement of the rooms for your family. Microsoft have already defined a cloud adoption framework, which we call CAF in short. This guides us to design highly available, secure, and resilient architecture, which can meet the governance and the industry standard requirements. And since cloud architecture is a vast topic which we cannot cover in one single video, I'm planning to have a series of videos on this channel about the architecture. So please comment me if you're really looking forward for this series and which all topic you want me to cover in it. Looking forward for your response. In Azure, we design the architecture based on the four main pillars. The first one is the availability zone and the regions. So Microsoft have data centers in the different regions across the globe. In India, they have three different locations: Pune, Mumbai, and Chennai. So as a good architect, you should never put all your eggs in one single basket, which means you should always deploy your resources across the different regions. So if Mumbai has an outage, Chennai should take over the load and the traffic. Second is compute. Azure offers a vast range of resources in compute, like you can take a virtual machine which you can fully manage and pay till the time it's up and running. Doesn't matter it's used or not. Then there's another Azure function which is fully managed by Microsoft, and you pay only for the duration you have used it. Apart of that, there are other options like Azure Web App, Azure Container Instances, Azure Kubernetes Services, and so on. The third is storage. Again, based on the requirement, if we are looking for a hot, cold, or warm storage, we can choose different Azure services in a storage area. Fourth is security and networking. So again, as one size does not fit for all, Microsoft have a vast range of security and networking services, like from an internal load balancer to traffic manager, from external load balancer to Azure Cloud Front. Coming to application architectures, there are mainly three types of application architectures which we can use to deploy our application. The first one is the monolithic application architecture. This is a tightly coupled where all the services and functions of that applications are put it directly into a huge system. So it's like if one application or one service goes down, it will impact the entire application. So if I will take an example, this is like, a large electric circuit board for all the apartments in a large residential society. So if that circuit board goes down, it will impact all the apartments in that society. Second is microservices architecture. This is the modernized, loosely coupled architecture where all the application service functions are broken down into independent units. So if one particular function is not working, it will not impact the entire application. Going back to my residential society analogy, here we have electric circuit board for each apartment. So if one circuit board goes down, it will impact that apartment only, not the entire society. Third is serverless architecture. In this architecture, rather than putting a dedicated resource, we only call the compute resource when it's required. So it's like you will not put a dedicated server just to send the 2 SMS twice a week, right? So, and again, going back to my residential analogy here, rather than hiring a full-time electrician, we shall call electrician only as and when required. Apart of these three, there are a couple of more architectures like service-oriented architecture or event-driven architecture, client-server architecture. But largely, these are like subcategory to one of the three architecture we just discussed. Quick question: How many of you have actually deployed an application in Azure? Let me know in the comments. And if you are preparing for Azure certification or learning cloud modern architecture without any jargon, then please consider subscribing AI Catalyst. It helps the channel to reach more learners and also ensure you do not miss the upcoming architecture series. Now here's the biggest mistake most cloud learners make. They spend months on memorizing the cloud services, storage, virtual machine, networking, security, and so on. But architecture is not about knowing the services. Architecture is about making the decisions. Think about it. If I will ask you which one we should use, Azure Function or virtual machine, there's no universally correct answer. The answer is always it depends. It depends on cost, it depends on performance, it depends on scalability, security, business requirements, and this is exactly how an architect thinks. That is why Microsoft recommends using Azure well-architected framework. It focuses on the 5 pillars: reliability, security, cost optimization, operational excellence, performance efficiency. An engineer asks, can I build it? An architect asks, should I build this way? This is the mind shift you really need to have to become a solution architect. As we move into 2026, cloud architecture is not about just hosting an application. Now cloud architectures are designing AI-powered applications, agentic AI solutions, Azure OpenAI integration, multi-cloud environment. So future architecture should understand cloud and AI both. It's no longer enough to understand just about your application, how it works. You must understand how it connects to AI, how it connects to API, databases, and enterprise systems. This is why the topics like MCP server, Azure AI Foundry, AI agents are become powerful and important. I already have a couple of videos on these topics. You can watch them later after this video for a wider understanding. So before we close, let's quickly recap today's video. Cloud architecture is the blueprint of your application. The most common 3 application architectures are monolithic, microservices, and serverless. A great architect focused on the business outcome, not on the technology. And future belongs to those professionals who understand both cloud and AI. Now tell me in the comments, what should be the topic of the next video in this Azure architecture series? Azure networking, Azure security, Azure identity management, hybrid architecture. And if you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe AI Catalyst. Now you may want to see the other videos. I will see you there.